Previously on New Crits on the Block.
I will make you another offer. We lie to my employers, tell them that you managed to make it to the library, but no such book existed. You will allow me to study it, and I will add my personal stash to your coffers, and my undying gratitude and servitude if you allow me to continue to study this rare artifact. One of the blue coats goes and grabs you. I'm going to say it's Arlo. You know someone named Zinc the Stink?
Why?
No reason. Have a nice day, citizen. You're free to go. Stay out of trouble. And welcome back to New Crits on the Block presents Blades in the Dark. I'm very sweaty.
Oh, why? Is it hot? It's not hot.
It's hot in this room.
Oh, I'm in a sweatshirt.
Am I
I'm
the
feeling
only one who just
good.
always sweats? Like I can be.
You run
Yes.
hot.
I run so fucking hot, man.
You run
I don't
hot.
understand. I don't understand why I produce so much heat and I'm so fat. Like I would think that the
Well, that's why-
thermodynamics of it
Ben?
would cancel each other out.
But you're not
Ben,
so
that's why.
fat though.
I know.
Yeah,
He's
what
huge.
are you talking
He's
about?
So
That's
fat.
my
Look at
underarm right now.
You are
maybe
very
just
sweaty
you
though.
need-
Yes, you are
deodorant.
drenched. You need an antiperspirant.
Yeah,
I'm wearing it.
I think
all
you need like
over.
that serious prescription kind. That's
Well, you got to
like,
stop wearing it, Ben, all over and not put it in your armpits.
The good news is I don't smell. I'm not stinky. I'm just wet.
Well, we're taking
Well,
your word on that. We're not
yeah,
there.
I don't know
so,
about that.
who knows?
No, I know when I stink. And this
All those flies buzzing around you say otherwise.
Yeah.
yeah. It's,
Oh, yeah,
He said it
we
was a
should-
dead rat. It's not.
I had a rat die inside my wall. And so the downstairs
Sure.
bathroom is full of.
Dude, what a long grift to give to your wife and kids that you just,
Just
smell
to be
bad.
stinky.
But you're like,
Yeah,
oh no,
I smell
a
so
rat
bad.
died
He
in our wall, and I had
He
to
even cut a hole in the wall.
He cut a
to
hole in
not-
the wall. Oh my
yeah,
god,
it's just a little
unbelievable.
long con.
Yeah.
Golly,
Yeah.
the lengths you'll go.
Yeah.
Fire
But for all
control and
seriousness,
everything.
though, I had a rat die on my wall and it stinks in my downstairs bathroom. And then to try
Sure,
to get
keep
it
it
out,
up.
I
Keep
cut a hole
cleaning
in
it
the
up.
wall.
Yeah, after he goes to
Couldn't find
Yeah,
it. So now I
after
have
he
a hole in my wall.
After he was in that bathroom for a half an hour, he comes out. Oh, there's a dead rat in there.
I think there's a dead rat there, honey. Don't go in there, kids.
No, I heard it crawling around in the ceiling a couple days prior and then it started stinking.
Yeah, see,
So
I don't.
Sure
believe
I was
it.
talking to the people. They say what happens is they crawl up in your walls when they're pregnant and they hang out up there and then they get big and then they try to crawl back out and they get stuck and then they die.
That's very depressing and sad.
Yeah.
Wanna know-
what's
you wanna
also
know-
depressing and sad is the cost of having to rat proof your house. So then what's also great is after cutting the hole in my wall to try to pull it out, I couldn't find it. So now I have a dead rat in my wall and it smells and there's a hole in my ceiling. And now that it's starting to decay inside my wall, all the flies have laid their babies inside of it. Now I have flies pouring out of the hole in the ceiling that I cut, which the way I'm
Man.
looking at it,
Just get a new deodorant, bud. That would solve all
Every
the
fly.
You
So
don't
simple.
need to
Just
do
go to the
this.
doctor, get a
You
prescription.
don't need to do this, Ben.
every fly that I see fly out. Oh, and by the way, there's like 50 of them. I opened this door and there's like 50 flies in there. I went and cracked the window like screen open so they can leave. And then I stuffed shit
Just
under
more
the
flies
door
come
so
in.
they can't get out. Yeah, right. No, they were
What's that
coming in
smell?
through the weep holes to get in to feed. Anyway, the end result is that this it's like some fucking horror movie. I open that door and there's just flies everywhere. But the way I look at it is every fly that leaves my wall, I think to myself, well, that was a rat, right? Like that fly grew from the dead rat. So that's that much less rat in my wall, if that makes sense.
I don't think
That's not how that
that's
works.
right at all, buddy.
That's totally how it works, right?
No,
like
you still have a dead rat in your wall.
but I have less.
But
I
there's
have
less of it.
There's less of it because every fly that comes out of there, it has to get food from somewhere. It doesn't just grow on its own. It has to eat. What is it eating? Dead rat.
It doesn't.
Right?
That honestly makes it worse.
It's really fucking gross. Thankfully,
Yeah.
it's near done decomposing, and so soon I will be able to patch the hole back up.
You're gonna leave it in your wall?
Can't find it. I talked to the specialist, and they were like, "I can just start cutting holes in your wall randomly to find it."
Well,
And you
already
just
did
said
it,
no
so-
thanks.
They were like, or you just leave it and it just takes like 3 months and then it
Is it
stops
an
smelling.
exterior wall?
Yes.
Bummer.
Why don't you just follow your nose and just sniff it out?
It's the whole room.
Follow your
stinks.
nose.
It's
Follow
fine.
your
It's,
nose.
I had a
Put
bunch
it
of
really
specialists
close to
come
the
in and
wall.
crawl through my crawl space. They've already found a
Who-
bunch of rats in there. They
who's
pulled them
the
all out. They
Snoz
cleaned the
guy?
whole thing out.
The
It's
Snoz character, Matt. We should get him.
Who?
Snoz character?
The guy
oh,
that comes
Baron
in-
von
The
Honk.
Baron
Yeah.
von Honk.
Oh, well, no one
He just
sees
wants
your
the soiled
sniffling.
tissues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
he might
doesn't
be
care
able
about
to
the
sniff it out.
smells.
Well, he
Yeah.
doesn't care, but you might be able to pay him for it.
He wants the liquids.
No, he wants, he wants,
Well,
He
in
wants
payment for
liquids.
finding this dead rat, he can get a few soiled tissues.
Maybe.
yeah, maybe.
Gross. Well, welcome back to the world of Blades in the Dark,
You
where
did this.
everything
Don't be mad at
sucks
us.
ass.
Yep.
And in this world, having a rat in your wall would be excellent because that's a source of food. You could eat the flies.
Not if you can't find it.
You could eat the flies.
No, you can't.
You can.
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
And if
Can't
this is
catch
all
'em.
you have, then that's all you're going to eat. But the good news is you recently made a friend, Styx, who is letting you stay in his house and is offering you his services as it's metagamey, but he's a whisper. That's his character class. I'm not going to play him as a 5th character to the party because that's too many characters and DM NPCs are usually a bad idea.
And we don't want you to play with us. You don't get to.
No, and honestly, that's like DM advice. Don't try to play a character in the group because you steal their fun. What I will say is that if you need a whisper, somebody who specializes in ghost shit and attuning, talk to him. That's his jam. You know that about him. So you brought the book back. He paid you 8 coin. I stuck that coin in your personal stashes. I divided it 2, and you got all your rep and everything, and you rolled your entanglements. And so all of that is out of the way. The last thing you guys have to do is you have to take your downtime actions. You all have 2 down. Oh, and Arlo got picked up by the cops and was questioned, but he avoided the questions pretty good. You only gained 1 heat out of it, which is not a big deal. And now you are all free to complete your downtime activities. I will remind you that you are all like 1 point away from psychological breakdown. So I highly advise that you guys reduce some stress. But hey, they're your characters. Who wants to go first? What do you want to do?
I can go first. I want to go and find Lila.
Okay. You want to find Lila.
Yes. Just
I'm
talk.
right here, literally
Yeah.
right next to you.
Well,
Oh.
you just got released from the guards and you returned to, actually, I shouldn't say that. Lila, where are you?
If we're doing what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be out shopping. So try to
Okay.
find me, I guess.
All right. Jake, I'm not going to say Arlo has a hard time finding Lila. Arlo, you find Lila at Rags to Bitches, which is where Lila likes to go and de-stress by perusing the fancy merchandise, as her thing is luxury. So, Arlo, you find Lila.
Hey, Lila, I don't mean to interrupt your shopping.
Yeah, it's kind of rude. I'm busy here, as you can see. My hands are full of clothes.
I just have a question, and I don't know who else to ask.
Okay, what is it?
And he kind of like waves you to like one of the corners of the establishment to
Oh,
like where
goodness.
outside of people's like earshot. I have a romantic inquiry
You have a what?
of there's a woman that
Uh-huh.
I've been seeing frequently,
Okay.
but every time I go to see her, she hides me.
She what you?
Like she only wants to be with me when no one else can see us.
Okay.
The owner
What's
of the
wrong with
store,
that?
Bartholomew, the owner of Rags to Bitches, just pulls 2 curtains apart and leans his face in and goes, Oh, my dear. The shame. The guilt. Oh, it's too much to bear. Tell me more.
Oh, okay. So I was wondering how do I make her not as this guy just said shamed?
Well, you could start by getting a haircut. You look really dumb. That's probably where most of it's coming from.
Bartholomew
That's me.
covers his mouth with shock and like he's watching an episode of Desperate Housewives only in real time.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't know. What does she like? What are some things she's into? Maybe you could get good at something that she likes so that she wants to be, you impress her, so she'll want to show you off.
What? What
do you mean, what?
I could recommend a new outfit. And he glances about his store.
Get away from here. Go. We're busy in this fitting room. If you could just please give us
The clothing closes shut.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Look, I'm not good with this stuff. I've never had someone want me.
It sounds like she doesn't want you. She just wants whatever you have to offer her.
Well, she's in your line of work, and I've never paid.
Oh, one of those. All right. Well, what I would do is withhold until I get what I want. That always works for me. So just don't do anything with her until she allows you to go out in public.
But what if that was one of the ways that I relieve some of my stress, per se?
Oh, gross.
And I really need to relieve some stress.
Disgusting. Hate having this conversation with you and my brother. Anyway.
Get in character, damn it.
I would try finding out what she's into. You need to ask her more questions and find out what she likes.
Now, can you
start there?
Can you keep a secret?
Sure, I guess.
Swear it?
Yes, I swear.
He kind of like looks to his left, looks to his right. He opens the clothes rack next to him. Is Bartholomew still there?
No. You actually do see Bartholomew in the corner of the store, like far away. But he has one of those old timey trumpets in his ear, like he's trying to listen. But you can tell he's not like. It's like with multiple curls for some reason. And he's like messing with it. And he's like picking out like wax out of his ear. And he's like, it's not working. He can't hear you.
He leans in and whispers into Lila's ear, "It's Nyrex."
Oh, you can't be serious, Arlo. She's horrible. What's wrong with you?
Well, she's actually quite nice to me when we're alone.
Right, alone. She's not a nice person. She's probably just using you for something.
Well, I'm kind of using her too.
Great. You're perfect for each other. How do
I make it? How do I show her that I'm not? He like scratches his head. Me.
You want to be someone else for her?
Well, no, but I am tired of always having to climb up to her window every night.
All right, fine. We'll get you some sort of disguise here, I guess, and that way you can look like someone else. Is that okay? Is that what you want? We'll get you a haircut. We'll do a makeover, okay?
Makeover montage! That was Ben saying that, not Bartholomew. Wonderful. Okay, so makeover montage. What do you guys do? Vogue is
Arlo
playing in
would
the background.
Yeah, Lila has full.
Well, we'll start with that
Artistic
awful
licensure.
hair.
Yeah.
No one likes a redheaded gentleman, so let's get rid of that.
Ouch.
That needs to go.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Well,
Gingers are the worst, as we all know.
Fuck
Yes,
you and my
yes.
entire family. Okay, so do you shave it all off, or do you style it, or dye it, or
We're
what's
gonna
the deal?
dye. We're gonna dye his hair black.
All
and
right,
we're
so the
gonna give him
the red ogre is now black haired.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna slick it back.
Oh, all right.
We're gonna Prince Ali you and get you some new clothes.
Prince Ali. Okay. Anything else?
do I get any piercings? Any jewelry?
Of course, you're gonna need some jewelry. Here's a few rings you can borrow from me that I don't wear and are much too small, so they should fit your tiny little gross fingers.
Okay, my hands are quite big, but that's fine.
Just let me insult you. I don't care how.
Okay, fair enough.
All
Yeah.
right.
This is how Lila de-stresses. All right.
Let's see. What else? Maybe you could try a new accent, some more elegant way of speaking. That would probably impress her.
Hello.
Why don't you try?
I'm Arlo.
No, that's awful. Try again.
Hello? Is that
It's just your regular voice.
Is that okay?
No.
Well, this
try
is
again.
just dealing with Jake as a DM in general. Like, make a different voice.
Hey.
Oh,
Oh.
there we go.
All right.
Do that
Is
thing
that-
with your eyebrow again.
Oh, okay.
Yes. There we
Hey.
go. Uh-huh.
Do I just talk in a deeper voice now?
Yes, I think that will get her going, I think.
That was weird to hear.
Yep. That's weird that
Well,
your
you
sister is the one saying that.
You
Could've said-
asked me to do this. I didn't
right.
want to be here.
So
You did, and you said to get in
I,
character too.
yes, so I, the DM,
Yeah.
am going to save you both from this awkwardness and say that you continue to train him to be sexy. And he then, Arlo, do you try to use these new moves on Nyrix?
Yes.
Go ahead and roll to see how that goes.
Now, do I get a bonus dice for spoofing myself up at all?
I
No.
would say.
Oh.
What?
That was
Why not?
great. That was great role play, but no, you don't get any bonus dice.
See,
what I
this is
will
why-
say
this
is,
is why I don't
if
get
you
bonus
want
on
to
role play.
spend coin to increase the result, you can say that you spent coin to buy all this nice stuff. Otherwise, you might just roll good enough without it. So maybe you found some good deals. So why don't you go ahead and roll your vice?
Well, I rolled a 3, so I now have 5 stress out of
Okay.
Is it 10 or 9?
1, 2,
It's 9.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So yeah, you still have a lot of stress.
Yeah.
5. That's a rough number because you could indulge again and you could roll 6. So what I would say is
We can move on to someone
you
else.
go to Nyrix and you knock on her door.
Oh yeah.
And she opens the door and she looks at you. And at first, she doesn't recognize you with your dyed, slick back hair. And she says, Arlo, what the fuck did you do to yourself?
Hey,
Perfect.
do you want to go get some drinks?
What?
Hey.
Yeah, double down. Good.
Yes. Exactly
Very
like we
good. Very
planned.
good.
Is this like a role play thing? I usually charge more for that.
You don't charge me anything, Nyrex. Let's go out.
Like on a date?
Yeah.
I mean, we can just stay here and do what we usually do. You want to
We
go
can do that
out.
after. Yeah. There.
Why
Yeah.
is your hair black? Whatever. Sure, we can go have a drink. Yeah, that sounds nice. She goes out with you. It's awkward, but you do talk to her for once and you're seen in public, although you look like someone else. She intentionally takes you to some place there's not a lot of people. You get the vibe that she's still trying to not like be public with you, but it is the most attention you've ever gotten from her outside of just physical intimacy, secret physical intimacy. And that's
right.
nice. And that's why you indulge 3 stress. It could have been better. It could have been worse. She could have just been like, no. Okay. You still have one more thing to do. Do you want to indulge more stress? Like double down and try again? Or do you want to try to heal more of your twisted ankle or something else?
God, I don't know. I just get stressed. I'm gonna indulge my vice real quick. We'll just do it again. And
Okay.
click the button. Oh, and it's a 5 perfectly.
It's perfect. Okay. So
Wow.
with your doubling down, what do you think happens that makes this situation go from awkward to perfect?
You fuck.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the
Full
Hey.
insertion.
No, so we end the date and we go back and like you said, it was awkward, it was weird. And as she's like walking away, I like grab her hand and like pull her close to me. And then
Oh,
we do the nasty in public.
Ew.
Ew,
Not like in
Jake.
public, like you know what I mean. You're not
No, I don't, because that's not what you said.
I don't know what that means.
like we
I'm going to give you more stress.
we do it hidden, but in a place where someone could potentially see us.
Yeah, what I'll say is that
Ew, y'all are nasty.
Arlo's nasty little boy.
Nasty boy.
normally when you go and you have intercourse with her, it's like this secret thing where she makes sure nobody's looking to see you walk inside. And what I'll say is that in this instance, the date actually goes from awkward to like kind of sweet a little bit, I guess. Like you for once actually get to talk to her and you learn a little bit about her. And when you go back to her room, back at the ghost hole, the Cynthia, who is the barkeep slash secretary of the ghost hole, is there, and she actually sees you go into the room with her, which is amazing because under normal circumstances she would not allow anyone to ever see you two. And you two have sex, and it's better than normal. Like normally it's just kind of like you kind of get in there and get your rocks off and get out, and it's actually like a little tender, maybe. Like it's not something that once you've had sex for the first time as a slave, you were like, well, this is amazing and I want to never stop doing this, as a young man who's never been allowed to do this. But this is the first time you've had any physical connection with a person on a deeper level. And although you don't know it, it's very minimal, but to you it's amazing because you've never had that.
Hell yeah.
Which is maybe in itself also kind of sad for the listeners, for us to understand that. But that's what happens. Great job. You managed to not overindulge your vice. I don't know how I would have roleplayed that if you had. Those are your two actions. You are now stress-free.
Can I also
Who wants to go next?
Can I stash one coin?
You can. You are not at risk of losing coin during a score or anything, so there's no harm in holding on to it right now. But yeah, you can put it in the stash whenever you feel like it. I would say don't do it unless you need to. Yeah, like if you have all 4 coin filled up and you're like, oh, I have some extra, I don't know what to do with it, then stash it. Because otherwise, if you need that coin, you're not going to want to lose it to take it out.
I see. Okay.
I wouldn't do
Then
that to you guys. I wouldn't be like, that's mine now because you didn't do it right. So that's the least I can give you with how unforgiving this game can be. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay, Rufus it is.
I mean, this is going to be hopefully a little more straightforward and simple. I'm just going to go find my usual bar and try to find my soul at the bottom of the glass.
Rufus likes stupor. drugs and alcohol. So yeah, all right, let's roll it and see what happens.
So I'm just hitting indulge vice.
Mhm.
No bonus dice. Yuck. 3.
Same deal. Okay, so you had a little less stress than he did, so now that puts you at 4. So you still have 4 stress left. So you go to your usual bar, and it's the same deal. You can't find, it. You get pretty drunk, but you don't have like a wild, rowdy night. You don't wake up thinking to yourself, God, I never had that much fun before. It's just kind of like, well, you pass the day and you feel like you're like a little bit less going to have a panic attack. You wake up, the hangover's about as bad as it normally is. It's about how you feel right now, personally. But you still have 4 stress left. What would you
So
like
what happens
to do?
if we overindulge again?
When you overindulge, you get a negative outcome. Specifically, he is holding off, trying to there. You either attract trouble, selected a roll for an additional entanglement, you brag about your exploits, you get more heat. You are lost. You play a different character until this one returns from their bender, which is kind of a thing we can decide, or you get tapped. Your current purveyor cuts you off and you must find a new source of vice. So it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do it.
All right. You might just roll 4.
Let's go.
Oh my God.
Let's
Ooh.
go. What'd you get?
Let's
Brian?
go. What'd you roll?
4.
Perfect.
Hey, 2 perfect.
Somehow you-
Wow.
That's really wild.
Hey, high five, Ryan.
You know what you do
Yay.
is you double down that night. The next day you wake up and you go back to the bar, and you don't normally go drinking during the day or what would be considered the day. It's usually a nighttime thing for you. And there's like a different crowd there, and you just have a great time. Like, you meet some new people. They seem generally like interested in like your exploits as a person. They don't like delve too deep. You think you actually like maybe make a friend, which is a weird thing to do in this world. The drinks are on sale. It's a happy hour. There's appetizers. They're all just fried
Vibes are
mushrooms.
immaculate.
They're all just fried mushrooms.
Just much. Yeah.
You have a really good time.
Onion rings.
Yeah.
Onion rings?
Raw onion
What?
rings. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you have a really good time and everything's very enjoyable, and you don't have any negative outcomes. Congratulations. Those are your 2 actions. You are also free to take additional actions if you guys wish to. You just got to pay for them. Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Sure. Go ahead.
Zink it is.
Sure. Brian, where does your character go for his drinks? Because I need to find a new spot.
Oh, that's right. What did we say? Oh no, I can't remember. Hold on.
You had a name for it, yeah.
Oh man.
I don't think you did yet. I think you just went out to I think initially you went to Melvere to get high.
Yes.
And then the bar, we didn't come up with a name for it. So yeah, you want to do that?
Give it a bar
Give it a name. What's the bar you go to? Just really putting you guys on the spot today.
First thing that comes to
What?
mind. It's the best thing to do.
My bar name?
That's the name.
My bar name?
My bar name? That's great.
Well, it's like those restaurants, Mai Tai. It's just my bar.
My bar?
Oh, that's funny.
How about
MAIBAR.
let's call it the Cupper.
The Cupper.
Cute.
Okay.
Okay. You take your pupper to the Cupper. That's why you like it. They have a dogs okay policy, which is weird
right.
because dogs don't exist in this world, but for some reason it's okay. They're still okay with it. It's one of those outdoor drink with your animals kind of places. Yeah. That's half the reason why you had such a good time is people were like just so into your dog.
Hey everyone, it's your favorite player, man, and welcome to this week's Middle Break. It is Thanksgiving week. Happy holidays to all those who observe. And you know what? We're thankful, all of us here at New Kids on the Block, we're thankful for all of you out there. You mean the world to us. You are the wind beneath my Thanksgiving wishes. Now, if you're thankful for us, which I'm sure you are, there's a couple things that you can do, not just to tell us, but to show us how thankful you are. First, make sure to subscribe to our podcast wherever you get our podcast from. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever podcatcher you use. Obviously, we're there. So hit that subscribe button, download the episodes, give us a 5-star review, and write a little synopsis about why you like us so other people who stumble across the podcast might just see it and think that they would enjoy it too. Also, make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. You can find us on Twitter at New Crits and on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at New Crits on the Block. It's your best way to stay up to date with all things New Crits. And the best way to support us there, share that content to your own platforms. Put it on your stories, your feeds, tag people you think might be interested. We only are growing through word of mouth. So you guys doing that really does help us way more than you would expect. And one of the ways I like to give back to all of you for supporting us over the years is we have a Discord. Yes, a Discord for all things New Crits, but not all things New Crits. You can come in there, talk about the show, talk to cast members, talk to other fans, or if you just want to come hang out, you can do that too. It's a safe, inclusive space that we have cultivated over the last few years. We're really proud of the community we now have. We love you guys so much. And if you haven't joined us yet, what the heck are you waiting for? Now you might be thinking, well, Matt, I do want to do all these things because I do want to give thanks. But how do I get to all the places that you just mentioned? Well, from our link tree, of course, linktr.ee/New Kids on the Block will get you to all the places that I just mentioned. And some places I didn't even have time to mention, linktr.ee/New Kids on the Block. It is your central hub for all things New Crits. All right, everyone, let's get you back into this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening. As you know, we come out with new episodes every single Monday. That ain't stopping anytime soon. So until the next one, let's get you back into this one. Happy Thanksgiving to one and all. We'll see you next week. Until then, be safe out there. Be excellent to each other. We love you all. Bye-bye.
Okay, Zinc, do you go there?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only other place that like I really know in town of any of any.
So you
of any
normally like
repute.
to gamble. So do you think maybe when you go drinking, maybe you challenge a few people to like a card game or something?
Yeah,
Or how- what do you think you do?
Yeah, I'd be trying to do like a little 3-cup Monty thing because I got my little fast hands. So I'd be trying to swindle people while getting some drinks in too. I'm kind of making my own like card haul.
Okay. I'll let you know that there is like gambling halls that you can like build in this game. So if this has become something that your character is interested in doing, then that's something that we can pursue. For right now, go ahead and roll your vice. Let's see how you do.
Yes, indulge vice. 6.
Amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That takes you all the
5,
way
6.
down.
You only have
to
one
1.
stress.
Yep, I'm going to stop right there.
That is a very good idea. Amazing. You go in there, you actually see Rufus. He introduces you to some people. You do your card game. You swindle people just out of like a little bit of money, but then you
I'm
also
not trying
buy
to
'em-
cause a scene.
No, but then you also buy them drinks. So they're like, yeah, this guy's okay. Like they don't really
Mhm.
feel like they lost any money because he got some free drinks out of it. But you know, you got them the cheap drinks when they were kind of drunk and you pocketed a little bit of their change. You know, you offered to, you know, oh, you get this round, then you buy the drinks and you keep a little bit. And you just kind of like, what's that character from Better Call Saul, Saul Goodman, where you're kind of just a little fucking stink, man.
Yeah, that's Sync for you.
And you just can't not cause problems, but you do it so quietly and so good that nobody's the wiser, and that makes you deeply so happy.
Perfect.
So
that's
got
what I'm
one
gonna do.
more left.
Yeah,
you can
what
think
was-
about it.
Well, let me ask this. Did we ever figure out what that black box thing was, Ben?
Okay, you want to find out what that weird little black box thing is?
Yes.
Well, you know, there's somebody out there who seems to know about this kind of stuff. A particular person who was recently put in your services.
Yep.
Who deals with antiquities.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to Styx and
Yeah.
climb up the door walk in and just kind of put it in front of him. Hey, so new purveyor of antiquities friend, what is this?
He closes the book that you left him with. Doesn't seem to be doing anything nefarious with it. He's just studying it. And he pushes the book to the side and kind of drapes something over it to keep it safe. And he takes the box and he pulls it in front of him and he says, I haven't seen one of these in years. My friend, do you know what you have available to you?
No, which is why I'm asking you, and I think you know that.
This here is a soul cage.
Oh.
Have you ever seen a cage with no bars?
No.
Well, when you're trying to house a soul, you have to make sure there's no bars. At least they slip through. And he opens it, and there's nothing inside. No one bothered to try to open this thing yet, which was probably pretty smart because you didn't know what it was. But he knows what it is, and he quickly discerns that it is empty, and he opens it, and it's empty inside. Prior to the invention of soul bottles, which you distinctly remember gaining access to, people used to house souls in soul cages. They were more effective than soul vessels or soul bottles, but harder to make. And he starts pointing at like the various little bits and pieces of it and the intricate runes and that are like written in like some type of like black sandy ink and all this stuff. And he basically informs you that this is the original way that people used to transport souls around without, you know, by being able to hide them and control them without people being none the wiser. And he says, but like all things that were made years ago, these were made better than the current models. They're just harder to produce. Honestly, quite a find. Speaking of which, where did you find it?
I think we found it on the boat, I believe, for our first job. Somewhere on there.
On the Foghound.
Yes.
Well, yes, that makes sense. They were transporting spirits. I can see why they might have one of these.
Mm-hmm.
It's valuable, but mostly in its use. Do you know of any spirits that you need moved or transported?
Not off the top of my head, not at the moment. I try not to deal with that sort of thing.
This might be useful someday. I recommend that you hold on to it. You never know when you might need to transport a spirit from location to location quietly without anyone knowing.
Okay, so it does nothing for me right now other than that. All right, cool. Thanks a lot, Sticks. You're the best.
Well, I feel like I told you everything there was to know about it. It's up to you
You
to
did.
decide.
I'm just saying I wanted it to be something more cool. I thought maybe there'd be like a new hat in there or something. I don't know.
Would you like there to be a new hat in there?
Can you make a new hat in there?
He picks up the box and walks away with it and then comes back a few minutes later and puts it back down.
Did you just walk away and put a hat in here?
Did you want me to put a hat in here?
Sticks? Is that what you did? Did you just walk away and put a hat? Hold on. I'm going to open it.
There's a hat inside.
Okay. Is it my style at all?
It's an older style of top hat, but it's unfortunately to get it inside the box, he had to smush it a little bit.
I'm going to take it out and throw it on the table. Sticks. Gosh dang it. All right. Get back to your book. I'm going to take the box and walk out, hobble out of the room.
I will say that you do remember that the Sophia, the spirit in the library, wanted to come with you, but didn't know how to get back across into the city.
Oh.
You feel as though this device could possibly house her and return her to your guys' service if you ever wish to do that. So what I will say is you now have the ability to create a long-term project. So if you ever wish to, you could start working on a long-term project, which is setting up somebody to go get her and bring her back. Or you can literally use it for anything else you can think of, but I just wanted to hold that to you. She was willing to stick with you, if you remember. And
Sure,
Matt, I will
okay.
say, if you ever bring her back into the fold, you don't have to mod her voice for the rest of the podcast.
Okay, thank you.
We'll say that that's something that the box will break. So you don't need
It did
to
turn
do
out
that
really
to her.
good, though.
It turned out
It did.
amazing, but I'm sure it was a lot of work.
It was a little bit of work.
So you now know what the box does. So I'm going to say it's a black box dash soul cage. And if you want to do something else, because I'm just saying that was a free action. You just asked him about a thing. If you wish to start a long-term project of returning Sophia to the cities where you can access her and use her in some way, shape, or form, or you can just hold on to it and do something else with it. You can always train. You also have that book, Sneakonomics. You can always train to learn a new skill. Up to you.
Yeah, I think
A reminder, you have acquire asset, long-term project, recover, reduce heat, train, and indulge vice.
yeah.
You guys
I
also
don't
have
think
heat.
Yeah.
And nobody
That's
else is
something-
probably going to roll as well as you did for stress recovery. So you might be the only person who's capable of doing that. You don't have to, though.
No,
Heat is
I'll
not
get-
the end of the world.
I know. I'll get rid of some heat, though. It's the responsible thing to do.
Zinc doing something responsible. My.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and click on the fuck is it? Roll fortune, roll engagement.
Is it on the
There's a-
crew one?
I'm looking. Yeah, I don't really see it. There's probably a button somewhere, but I don't see it. It
Well,
says,
I'll just roll a what? D6?
say how you reduce heat on the crew and roll your action. Oh, so do whatever it is that you want to do to reduce heat and then roll your action. I assume you're going to roll your prowess.
Yes, I will roll. my
Prowess.
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 Well, hold on. I think
Prowess.
do you roll?
Oh, good.
You would roll
Yeah.
prowl, not prowess, or finesse
Yeah.
or whatever. So
Prowl, yeah.
how do you reduce your heat?
Yeah, because the only link that the heat has to us is the ferrymen, right? They're the only people who even knew that we were there that are still alive.
Yeah, that's probably
Uh,
how they were like, wait a second, what do you mean we had a group of people come over across the ferry? There was no scheduled transports today. And then they found all these explosions and dead bodies out there. So what do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna sneak over to where the ferry building is, and I'm gonna cook the books. I'm gonna add in little writings on the ledger of another group of people going over there for some safety issues, that there may have been an outbreak of ghosts. So they had to send a special team over, very top secret, above most people's pay grade. And that's why the damage was there, because it was to save the city. And so I'm going to add those little details into the ledger.
Excellent.
So
Go
if they
ahead
look back
and
go, yeah, okay.
roll your prowl and let's see how well you do. Unless you want to roll some other skill that you're less good at
No,
and have more.
prowl is
yeah.
probably the best move here. Hey, a 4, a 5, and a 6.
So you take your highest, which is a 6.
Yeah.
At least I think you do. Reduce heat. Reduce heat according to the result level. Yeah. A 6 is a 3. Reduce your heat by 3.
Sweet.
So, yeah, if you had crit, if you had 2 6s, which you were close to doing, then you would have reduced it by more, but only 3. So let's go ahead and go to your crew sheet. Heat, 1, 2, 3. So that
You
leaves
got
you
that?
with 3
Okay.
heat. There
Okay.
you go.
I got rid of
Very nice.
half of it.
Yeah, not bad.
All right. That is my full turn there.
Excellent. And Lila, you are last in the group. You said you were at Rags to Bitches, trying to do some stuff, but you're up to you. What do you want to do?
I'm going to indulge my vice, obviously, with
Yes,
some
before
shopping.
you-
There happens to be a BOGO sale going on, so I'm going to get
No.
What is a
so
BOGO
many
sale?
good buy one get one.
Oh, see, this is how little I shop.
So let's go ahead and do that first. Ooh, okay. I got a 6 out of my 8 stress.
Amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you only have 2 stress left.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. No, that's fine. You
Let me
just,
fix that.
I know that this system for Roll20 works pretty good, but it's a little finicky. You kind of have to learn how it works.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You
Yeah.
have 2 level 1 injuries.
Right. So the next thing I'm going to do, I guess, is recover. Is that
That's
what
probably a
the-
wise
the
choice, but you can
healing
always
thing would
just,
be?
train or do something else. But I think that recovering is probably the smart move. Yeah.
Yes.
So
I'm going
you need
do
to
that.
go to somebody to recover. Now, if you remember the last time you went to someone, you went to Melvir, who did not do a good
Oh,
job
right.
on you and was weird.
No,
Um,
I would like to go to an actual healer or whatever we call that here, a doctor, I guess.
Yeah, a physiker. So you
Yes.
go and find a different physicer. And we don't have to give him a name or anything. We'll just say
I
that.
get a second opinion.
Yeah, which was probably a good idea because he was being real weird with you. And
We
go
want
ahead.
we want a doctor name.
Yep. You wanted to.
You made Brian. No, it's got to come from Christy.
What?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You made Brian name the bar. You named everybody else name all the stuff. You get what's the doctor you're going to? Doctor.
I'm going to tell you right now, there is a very real doctor who works at the hospital I work at. And her name is, I kid you not, Doctor.
Really?
If really. Her name is like, her last name is like Dr. Vass something. And she's from a country where I guess where she was from, they were like, yeah, you get the title of your last name. So her name is Doctor. And I think it is fucking hilarious.
That's wild.
That is really wild.
Yeah. The last name has another part after it, but that is her name. Her legal name is Hello, it's nice to meet you. I'm Doctor.
Then.
Oh, that's a cop out.
No, you gotta make it.
I'm gonna
your
say,
own.
give me the news. I'm gonna say, give me the news, though, and that's what the place is called.
Give me the news.
Doctor, give me the
Give me
news.
the-
I
got a bad case for loving you. Okay.
Yeah, so that's still funny and clever.
Okay, Doctor, who runs the clinic. Give me
the news. That makes no sense. No sense.
Yes, it does.
You know what we're gonna say is the name is Give me the Noose, Noose.
You could have been like
Great.
his name's like Dr. Huey Lewis or Dr. Huey or something.
No,
The clinic's name
my
is
choice.
Give me the Noose.
Give me the news. Oh boy.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that this person, they are still just a level 1 physiker. You have not found a better one than
the
that.
heck?
Yeah, well, it's your low level.
But it's Doctor.
Well, you can always pay him more and increase the effect, but let's go ahead and just roll it. So you want to just roll
Okay.
a fortune roll. So, actually, no, their fortune roll. Yeah, just a fortune roll. It'll just give you 1 dice, and we'll see how they do.
Okay. I got a 1.
Oomph!
So
you just cannot find a person to treat your wounds for some
this is
reason.
ridiculous. You came
Okay.
so highly reviewed. I don't understand.
me either. It's like your body is resistant to healing. A 1 just gives you 1 segment. So
You have another one to do.
you could pay to roll again, or you can just take both of these injuries and always have less effect. I'm going to start using that to actually like affect you moving
Well, if you're going to
forward.
start actually using it,
You could pay coin to take one
Yes.
more action.
can you give me like the better stuff from the back, perhaps?
That was the better stuff. I'm not sure why you
Okay,
came to
give me the
Doctor.
worst stuff
I'm
then.
the best. I'm the best in the biz, and for some reason, I can't seem to heal you.
I've got a bad case of I need you to heal the shit out of me. Thank you. And I'll give him some coin.
Okay, so by paying, is it 1 or 2 coin? I think it's just 1. You're able to take an additional downtime
was
activity. Each additional activity list costs 1 coin or 1 rep. So you can also take 1 rep from the crew as opposed to coin, but you kind of want to
No,
build up
no.
your rep. So
Yeah,
okay, so
I'll
you
leave it.
you remove 1 coin. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Boop, and now you can
Nice.
roll that again. And with a little luck, you will roll more than.
Oh, I got a 1 again.
Oh no.
Fine. My body just won't be healed. Whatever. I don't care.
Would you like to use 1 more rep to do it? So
One more
your
rep?
your crew has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rep. Like you could like offer them something. Maybe you offer them some special deals in one of the areas you control. You promise to send them injured people. Like you give them something to let them maybe give you a little bit better drugs.
Sure, if everyone is okay with that, I guess.
Or you just spend more of your coin. Coin is harder to come across than rep, I will say. Well,
Yeah.
kinda. You kind of get more coin, but you have to divide it up amongst everyone. You could take a coin. Somebody else could give you a coin out of kindness, or you could just spend another of your own.
I don't think anyone
will-
would be giving you a coin. out of
Well,
kindness.
No one should give you coin.
No, she
No.
asked
I'm going to
Arlo.
use the rep. I'm going
Arlo give her a
to
coin.
make a deal.
Okay. So you remove one rep. You roll again. It doesn't matter what you roll because it will finish it. But for fun,
Let's just
give me that
see what I
fortune
get.
roll. I want to see what you get.
For the love of God. Okay, I got a 4 at least that time.
Had you done that last time, you would have been able to fully tick your clock. You fully tick your clock. Your shallow cut and your whacked head are now gone. You are 100%.
Head.
Yeah, you whacked your head. Very good.
I am done. I think
So
I've done quite
you made a
enough.
deal with Dr. Doctor. Give me the news. To in some way push a little business their way. And maybe you tell, Rufus, like, hey, next time you got to get healed up, you got to go over there, or whatever you decide. But in some way, this impacts your crew's reputation, where people now know that, like, you guys are willing to make deals to get things done. You're willing to give ground to get things done. And so you lose a little bit of rep from other reputable gangs to be like, yeah, you hear that? They're willing to do X, Y, and Z. Okay. That is everybody's actions. Good God, Lila. But hey, you know what? That's the game. The game is supposed to not be forgiving.
Yeah, you
You
gotta get
have
rid of
to
all your
give
stress,
something
though.
up. in
Not
order
all
to-
of it. I still have 2.
That's pretty good. Going
Well,
into
yeah.
2 stresses. Everyone else just did amazing for some reason. Which, hey. So that's the end of downtime. And the last thing that we need to do is to decide what the next score is going to be so that I can plan it prior to our next encounter when we record. And so what do you guys think you do? I am going to give you some options, but you guys can also come up with anything because you are a new bus. Oh, last thing your crew needs to do. What's your name?
Oh,
I thought we didn't we have
I thought we
one?
already picked it.
Yeah,
Did
had
we?
something.
did we?
Yeah,
We had-
we did.
we had
Brian
something.
came up
What
with
was
something.
it?
It was
I
very
did?
dumb, and we all said that's what we're calling ourselves.
Yeah, I was like,
I remember you guys saying that you wanted to call yourselves as the Lone Wolves.
something like that. I think was actually.
I think that was the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like the joke was that I asked Zinc when he's done something on his own before. I've never seen him do something on his own.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do we like that?
Yeah, because
You
I think I pitched Big Zinc and the Stinks, but you guys
Yeah.
were not for that.
No.
You
So
wanted to
I will
name
say
it
that you
after
guys
you.
are shadows, you're thieves, spies, and saboteurs with a subtle reputation who also now has some occult knowledge. One last thing I'll tell you guys is I added this extra crew sheet down here where it says occult down below, and it says cultists. So just know that all of these abilities, chosen, anointed, bound in darkness, conviction, you can pick from those as well. I'm basically allowing you guys to be like a dual crew, so to say. You're cultists and shadows. Just because I want to give you guys some options without completely hamstringing you. So just so you know, you're stealthy spies, saboteurs, subtle, and you have this book bound to you.
The Lone Wolves.
We're not good.
Is that what we want?
It's
Okay,
not-
but if that is
I
it,
don't
is
know
that
if
what
we
we
like
want it
it.
to be?
No.
Do we like it, guys? We did like it then. We were all pretty stoked about it then, but
Yeah.
now I guess we're not really as excited
yeah,
about
well,
it.
it doesn't.
as we
It's not
were.
part of the joke now. It's just kind of a. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a couple other faction names. Maybe it'll give you like a feel. You got the Crows, the Lamp Blacks, the Red Sashes, the Grinders, the Billhooks, the Lost, the Unseen, the Hive, the Foghounds, the Circle of the Flame, the Wraiths, the Path of Echoes, the Forgotten Gods, the Reconciled. Which of these sounds like what are you guys feeling? What are you feeling inside? What are you? I can make a recommendation, but I don't want to do it and then be like, well, now that's
the
not ours.
bookbinders.
The bookbinders. The
bookfinders.
bookbinders.
The Knights of the Square Book.
Knights of the Square Book.
Oh, can I give you guys
I don't
an
hate
option?
that. Yeah.
No, I have a good one. And it came from what you guys just said. You said the book binders. Why didn't you guys call yourselves the Bound?
Ooh, I like
Ooh,
that.
The Bound is pretty
The
cool.
Bound is
I
good.
also like the Knights of the
It's
Square.
not as dork as the square.
I like the Knights of the Square Book, which is so
That's our
dumb.
casual name. That's our full name, but we just go by the Bound.
Or the Knights
for,
of the
like,
Yeah,
Square.
Yeah.
It wouldn't
'cause
fit on
Knights
the
of
merch.
the square book that sits upon the round table.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Sits upon
I
the
think that's good.
Bound's
The
table.
book binders,
Ooh.
the Bound. I'm gonna write down the Bound for now. You're always welcome
I like
to
the
change
Bound.
it.
Yeah, we could change it if you want, but I
Well,
like
the
it.
You can always
the full
change it.
name is the Knights of the
Square Book. But
Knights of the Square
because it
Book.
won't fit on the t-shirts, we had to shorten it up because
Yeah,
it's
the Bound.
per letter. So the embroidery
like-
got out of hand.
We call ourselves Knights, though. We're like, Knights, load up.
Nice.
Yeah, sure. You guys can call yourself whatever you want to.
Or KST
Cool.
for short.
All right. Now, last thing before we close off for the day is we have to kind of have an idea of like what the next score is going to be. And this is mostly to help me plan it. Just so I'm not just like, here's what you're doing next. You have no choice in what happens. I don't know if I ever mentioned this to you guys. Prior to starting this campaign, I Googled, what is crime? Because I had to like think about it. I was like, I don't know. I'm not a criminal in real life. Like, what do criminals do?
Oh,
and so I
you
have
know what?
all these things written down, like the theft of, the sale of, the smuggling of monies, keys, drugs, weapons, sensitive information, Leviathan blood, which is used to make electroplasm, food like radiant crops, materials, kidnapping, slave trafficked. I said ghost or soul related crime, like think cybercrime, like hacking into a person's like records and stuff. Espionage, destruction of property, terrorism, counterfeiting, bribery, extortion, racketeering, dark rituals, demon worshiping shit. Like this is all stuff you can kind of go down. I will also say that at some point you all return to Styx's employ, and he does say, I promised that I would give you the opportunity to learn more about the book. And if you're willing to pursue the next step that I feel might be necessary to do so, I feel as though we need to seek out translation services. And I might know where to find them. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to seek out more information on this book? Are you just looking at making money?
I have Arlo wanted to bring something up real quick.
Yes, Arlo.
I guess I was talking in third person. Okay. Zinc.
Hmm?
That blue coat that fancies you.
Yes.
I got picked up by him again, and he was rather persistent on questioning me about the heist and also about your whereabouts.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Yeah,
something maybe we should handle?
No, he's been after me for years. Have you seen that play, Catch Me If You Can? He's the Tom Hanks character. Like, he just can't. I just slip through his little fingers every single time. He just can't get a beat on me. It's cute, really. It's cute.
Styx chimes
Suppose that
in.
makes you Leo DiCaprio.
I mean, I wasn't
Well-
going to say it, but
Doesn't Tom
obviously.
Hanks eventually capture him?
Well,
Doesn't he?
way later, after he's already
As old
had
as you
a lot-
are.
Yes, he's had a lot of fun. He's had a lot of debauchery. He was a pilot. He was a doctor. He was a lawyer, I believe. So, I still got a couple more jobs in me before I get caught. Is the way I see it.
So we can all be honest with one another. I told you who I was working for, and I feel as though this is an important detail to bring up. There is a blue coat who is specifically after you, named Darmot.
Well, yeah, because again, I pulled a few heists under his nose, so he took it personal. So it's like his personal vendetta to take the stink and bring him downtown. But it's never gonna happen. He's not. He doesn't have the wits for it. Is the thing.
What if he didn't have the coin for it either?
What? What do you mean?
I am concerned that somewhere there's someone who has a personal vendetta against you. And with that conversation, we, as a camera view, back out of a window, back through an alleyway, and dart across a river, and pass through a busy marketplace, and come to a large building. And on that building, written in front of it, it says SLH Securities. And as we go inside the building and we duck through a few stairwells and alleyways, it's a very nice, fancy-made building. Looks like a reputable business. We come into a waiting room and we see the blue coat Darmot sitting anxiously in an office waiting room as his foot taps on the floor rapidly, kind of off rhythm, much to the annoyance of a young woman sitting at the desk across from him. And next to him, where you may expect another waiting room chair to be, sits a rather large and familiar item. It is the safe from the Foghound that housed the original spirit of Bazos Baz. The SLH 5000. And we now notice that behind the young woman sits the logo for SLH Securities. And some time passes, and Darmot opens his mouth to ask a question when the door leading to the office opens, and inside we hear a voice. Mr. Darmot, I presume. Please come in and bring whatever it is you need to show me. Darmot stands up and begins to walk inside the office, but then stops and turns and faces the safe, and then turns and faces the office, and then turns and faces the safe. And the next scene, we see Darmot struggling to slowly drag the safe across the floor of the waiting room of SLH Securities, the young woman sitting at her desk seemingly unaffected by the ensuing chaos as it scrapes the floor as he drags the several 100-pound safe into the room. And Darmot manages to eventually bring the safe into the office, exhausted and gasping for air as he says, "I'm sorry to bother you, sir. It's just that after inspecting the details of this crime scene, it was determined that the stolen items were..." And Darmot is cut off from the voice from earlier, originating from the man sitting in the chair, facing backwards as he looks out a window, as so many people often do for dramatic effect. "Stolen souls. Yes, they were housed inside an SLH 5000, a nigh impenetrable safe of my own creation. And you, a low-ranking bluecoat with an axe to grind, feels as though you can advance yourself in your career by bringing this to my attention. The owner and CEO of SLH Securities. I also know that you have a personal vendetta against the scoundrel in particular, and you feel as though you can, the saying goes, kill two birds with one stone." Souls? No soul trafficking was going on. Soul trafficking is illegal. The stolen items were personal belongings for a wealthy citizen out of the city. Wait, you know about the man I'm chasing, the scoundrel. You know about Zinc. The CEO of SLH Securities quickly chimes in. "Oh, I know many things, Mr. Darmont. I know that you graduated from top of your class at the academy. Those badges always shine a bit brighter than the lower scored graduates," as we see the tiny reflected symbols of Darmot's badges shining onto the wall of the CEO's field of vision. "However, I also know that you were demoted and assigned as a beat cop. Why else would you be dragging evidence to me personally? Speaking of evidence, I know that you brought me an SLH 5000, given the particular sound it makes as you drug it in here." He sniffs the air. "I know you. Now, I also know that you missed breakfast, but also last night's dinner, likely because you were too busy working on the case, given the sweet but rancid smell of acetone on your breath. But what I don't know is how someone managed to crack the SLH 5000, a safe that what we here at SLH Securities marketed as uncrackable." Darmot, flabbergasted as he paws at his badge to cover the shining light and smells the breath of his acetone rancid air, says, I'm sure I know who did it. A lurk who goes by the name of Zinc the Stink. He's the only one who could have done it. Mr. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. The chair spins around, revealing a middle-aged, slender man. He holds a small lock that he inspects with a magnifying glass. In his mouth sits a pipe. Holmes. Of Sherlock Holmes Securities. Now tell me about this Mr. Stink.